What's up guys, Doomsday here. Today we're back again. In this video we're going to be playing some Wukong in the jungle. Some of course still playing some Wukong. We're actually really close to top 10 NA for Wukong, so hopefully we get there soon on our main. But in this match we're going to be jungling up against an Olaf, and sorry for the Wukong gameplay again. I know y'all have seen so much Wukong gameplay on my channel, but I was just super busy the past few days and only gotten one match, and this happened to be the match, so I thought at least some content is better than none, so I thought I'd upload this Wukong match. But up next, I definitely want to do Kha'Zix. I played Kha'Zix for the first time yesterday, and oh my gosh, Kha'Zix is so fun. Like, he deals so much damage if you can get him isolated, and you can play so aggressive, so that's my next video. Hopefully I can get that out tomorrow. That's the goal. But in this match, I'm looking at the lane matchups. We have a Yasuo versus Darius mid, which is bit of an interesting matchup. Don't really see that, whereas the Galio is on the bot side. And what am I thinking over here as a jungler? So I know I'm jungling up against an Olaf, and first thing I want to know is what jungle clear is Olaf going to do? Is he only going to clear the red side and work into this scuttle? Or is he going to do red to blue and then work into this scuttle? And the reason for that is I want to fight him at the scuttle because look at our lanes. Our lanes have really good positioning, and they can rotate very easily. This bot side, Draven, of course, is a monster in the early game and can easily zone out any melees. So I know I'm going to be getting the rotate from Draven if I do go for that scuttle, or I can get the rotate from this top side if we fight at this scuttle. So over here now, we got the ward on their blue buff, so I know he's going to go for the bot side scuttle. And you can see I'm already pinging on the minimap. I want to start heading down there. And that's actually why I skipped my blue for now. So right now I'm looking for this kill over here. I know this Darius wasn't running flash. That's why it's really important to check the summoner spells, because I wasn't worried he's going to flash away. So now I'm spam pinging my teammate, rotate down here, rotate down here. And as you can see, now we have a 2v1 here. And we're able to pick up this kill here. We forced out the flash, and it's really good catching on Olaf like that, because Olaf, of course, he doesn't have anything to dash away, any escape tools. He really only has engage until he gets his ult. So he really can't do anything but try and flash out, and even after he flashes, we can easily gap close that. So that's a good rotator on our part, and he failed to consider pretty much who had the priority in what lane, so we were not able to get the bot side scuttle because we went for the gank in mid, so that stalled us a bit, so we weren't able to get there in time, but we got the kill in mid, which is good. Now I'm resetting. I got level 5, so now I want to look for a gank somewhere. So where do I most likely head? I'm probably going to head towards this bot side. And the reason for that is, one, I have jungle spawning on this side, so I can clear that jungle. Two, I see this Olaf over here, so if he does go for a gank, then I can go for a counter gank. And also, I know this Galio is probably going to be playing pretty aggressive, so I'm keeping an eye out for that. If this Galio dashes in, then I'm definitely going to be looking for that gank. Over here, I see the Olaf. I really don't want to waste my ultimate, so I don't want to take this fight yet, because I know if we do fight, then I'm going to have to ult. So I'm waiting for my red buff. I'm keeping an eye on this bot side again, because with a low Draven and a Galio of course is going to be playing really aggressive. Dashing in, trying to get the taunts, trying to burst him down, so we'll see. I think I saw a ward get placed on the around here. Now I'm looking for this, and I'm pinging him on my way, and again, this is perfect timing by me. I knew the Galio was going to be playing aggressive, and that's why it's really important to look at your lane states. Sadly, the Draven went down, but we're still able to pick up the kill. I try to push this wave in, so the Galio misses some farm, and then I want to reset and head over to Drag. So now I have my ult off cooldown for this Drag fight, which is huge, because your ult is like so good at the first Drag fight. You can CC up an entire team. I got my Black Cleaver. That's a really good thing. On Wukong, if you go on Black Cleaver first item, which I'm going because they have some tanks on their team, Olaf, Darius will probably build tank. I don't know what Galio is building. Yeah, he's also building Bramble already, so going for the armor penetration with Black Cleaver is definitely better than going for a Trinity Force. So as you can see now, I'm pinging. I want to start this fight. Our support recalled, and I think it's really bad to recall at this time if you're the dual lane, because you give up a lot of positioning advantage. Like, if we had this wave shoved all the way in their turret, we wouldn't have to worry about this rotate. And over there, the Lucian actually made the Lucian wasted their dash, and that's a very risky play there. I would not do that if I were the Lucian, but thankfully they didn't hard commit there, or else that could have been bad. Like, as you can see, they're using their dash a lot, and I think that's a big mistake. on their part. So as you can see, I'm looking for the engage. I get the engage onto the Seraphine, and now I really don't get any follow-up from my team. I got a 3-man knock-up. I had to flash away. We were not able to pick up anybody. I just go right back onto the drag. I know I got him zoned out now. They're super low. They wasted everything. So, on this drag. The Darius rotated, and this is a really scary place, because if Darius gets one execute on us, he could just start refreshing and refreshing on us. And thankfully, we were able to pick up that drag, and now we're just backing off. So, I'm really kind of snowballing this match now. I'm telling you right now, Olaf is one of the hardest champs to play when behind, just because it's just so hard to play when Olaf when behind. You don't have the gold. It's hard to gap close. It's hard to out damage ADCs. So, it's really good that we got ahead early. And if I did not see that Olaf on the blue buff earlier on at the very first rotation, then I know he would have only been doing the red side clear and got into this scuttle. So then I could have had the top duo rotate by spam pinging them, and then we could have won that too. So now they got a really strong combo here. The Darius pull into the Galio ult. There's nothing you can really do there. But they wasted the Galio ult on that, and I think that's big. I think a big thing that Galio could have done in that case at that dragon fight was actually look for an ult there, because with global ults, I think that's a huge play you can make. And over here, Darius makes... A lot of people make this mistake, but against a Wukong, you could dash over that wall super easily. And now I'm just onto the stairs. I don't want to waste my ult on him. You can see I'm being kind of stingy with it. I'm like, I don't want to have to ult. So we're thankfully able to pick up the kill there. Pushing this wave in. And now I see that they're looking for something on this top side of the map. They're maybe looking for a turret dive. So me and the Yasuo both just rotate up and scare them off pretty much. So now I'm pinging Herald. I want to group up this Herald. I think we can win a Herald fight. We have the ward on the blue, so if he does come this side, we're going to be able to catch him. We started up. Keeping an eye out. We see they're heading this way. The Herald's super low. Get the Herald. And over here we make a very bad mistake. We really shouldn't have fought this, in my opinion. They have a much stronger small skirmish comp. I'm telling you right now, Galio is so strong at these small skirmishes. His he could CC up 4 people at the same time. It's insane. If he jumps in, gets a good knock-up, and then gets a good taunt, there's almost no way to win that. Plus, it's going to group us all together for the Olaf true damage from his third ability, so that's a big mistake too. Sadly, we went down there, but at least we got the Herald. I think we traded... Did we trade 2 for 1 for the Herald, I think? Or 3 for 1, I don't know. I think the SL went down too. The Draven could have gotten out there. I don't know. He stayed a bit too long. He could have just left. But that's good. Ooh, and when I caught out the Darius over here at this honey fruit, a key thing that you could do on Wukong against Darius is if you know he has his first ability up and you have your third ability, hold your third ability until he uses his first ability. Because if you get hit by the outer part of Darius's first ability, it heals him up, which makes him so much harder to kill. Whereas if you use your third ability right when he uses his first ability, it takes you right into the middle of him, right on top of him, so he can't land the end part of his first ability, and he doesn't get the heal or anything. So now I see this Olaf is on top side. I just dipped the blue buff. I know he's going to play for this kill over here. The Lucian needs to kite back. I'm on my way. I know the Olaf already used ult, so that's huge. We're able to pick up that kill, and the Darius is here now. Just trying to get onto him. Get the good Yasuo ult and pick up that kill there. So now we're trying to push in this turret. And it's really big to push in this turret here because notice how first turret has not been taking it. Nobody's been taking first turret. And this is kind of long for first turret, actually. I probably should have looked for this earlier, honestly. This might have been my bad in this match. We do get it, but it's 1,000 gold for your entire team, and we waited kind of long to look for it. I think that was a mistake on my part. I probably could have looked towards this bot side with Draven, because of course Draven is super aggressive and can chunk down turrets and stuff. So that's probably what I should have done instead. But it's fine, it worked out. We got the kills on top side. Now we're resetting. But when going for a double scuttle and all these small skirmishes, it's very important to consider which lanes will have the advantage to rotate in, because if you don't have the advantage to rotate, then I don't recommend starting it up, because if you get rotated on, then you get screwed over. Like, as you can see, when the Yasuo rotated on the Olaf earlier at the very, very start, that completely screwed him over. So if you don't pay attention to stuff like that, going for invades, going for these fights on the river, it's gonna screw you over. So now I was looking onto the Vayne. I really want to force out the Vayne ult. Vayne ult is pretty annoying to deal with. So now I'm looking towards mid. This Galio is trying to push this mid turret. So is the Olaf. Heading here. I still have my ult off cooldown. This Olaf has to use his ult defensively, which is a big mistake. And over here, I'm able to dodge the Seraphine ult, which is super clutch on my part. And the only reason I was able to dodge the Seraphine charm, I want to talk about this for a sec, but reacting to the Seraphine animation itself is pretty hard, just because it's a very quick animation. But with sound on, you easily can, because Seraphine makes some weird noises whenever they use that ult. So it stands out a lot. So as soon as you hear the sound, you easily know that that ult's going to be coming, so you can try and dodge it with your second ability. Because if you didn't know, your second ability, it's also a small dash, and that's very useful to dodge stuff. Things like Seraphine Charm, you can dodge the Vayne pushback, the one where they like shoot you back into a wall and it stuns you if you hit a wall. If you time it right, you could do so much with it. And it's really big because I think I might do this later in this match, I don't know, but when you engage onto the Vayne, of course, their first instinct is going to be to push you off, use that ability. So if you can clone at the perfect time, then they're going to push away the clone instead of you, and that can be a huge game changer in certain matches and in certain moments. So it's important to consider stuff like that. Now I'm heading back mid. Looking for a pickup here. I don't find anything, so I just ward up the jungle. I see the red is spawning. This is a bit of a weird spot. And we can maybe look for a dive here, but it's a little bit risky. As you can see, I was thinking of it, but I was like, no, let's not do this. Let's not do this. So instead of, we're just... I see this Olaf behind us. This Olaf was trying to go for a flank. I do get charmed there. I had to use my dash to avoid the Galio ult. Now I'm able to go back in. We're able to pick that up. And another way to use actually the dash is into the Darius. As I was saying, you want to avoid getting hit by the end part of his first ability. And over there, they overextended super far. As you can see, I was a bit, I don't think we should have hard committed to that. If you see that Darius first ability come out, you could actually clone inwards, so it gives you the small dash inwards, and you don't get hit by the end part of the Darius first ability. Oh, well, actually, I'm not sure if the clone getting hit by the Darius first ability still regens him. I'm gonna have to look into that, actually, because I'm not entirely sure. But at least you don't take the damage, I guess. You don't take, or you don't get slowed, I think it is. I think the end part of the Darius first ability also slows you. So now we're setting up for this drag. They got the scuttle, which was unfortunate. Playing for that scuttle right when the objective spawns is pretty important. And that's something that I'm looking to work on. I think a lot of junglers fail to prioritize that scuttle because now they like know we're grouping around and it gives them good vision control around. So we can't really catch them off guard or anything that easily. Now they're all in this area and we're making a big mistake here grouping up, and we did a good job of eventually splitting off. So now I'm just going onto their ADC. I'm like, oh, and see what I mean? Like if you just try and time it right, then if they use that pushback ability, then they won't even hit you, they'll hit the clone. So able to pick up the kills there, and that's a big thing on Wukong is prioritization, in my opinion. Because as a Wukong, you don't really deal too much damage to all champs. Like, of course, tanky champs, your ults and stuff like that, I won't be doing too much. Like, into an Olaf, I can look to try and get onto him, but me ulting an Olaf when he's an ult, it's not going to do as much. Instead, I'd rather get onto the backline and try to get onto him. So, like, remember at the first dragon fight how I was able to get onto the Seraphine because I knew that the Olaf would just ult, so that's why it's pretty important. And if you do engage onto an Olaf in this case, what I would do is once you ult in and you start up the engage, clone right away, because that's when the big burst of damage is going to come. The Olaf second ability plus third ability is going to do so much. The first ability from Olaf plus burst from other champs, and you're going to want that used on the clone. Trust me, you aren't going to want that used on you. I actually had a very good Wukong match. I know some of y'all were requesting for some like really high elo matches, and it was a match when I was playing with the C9 bot duo, and we're up against 30k's mid and dragon lane. If you don't know, that's a pretty big team in NA. I think they were 4th in the last tournament. That was a very sweaty match, and it was this exact same matchup. It was Wukong versus Olaf, and it was super sweaty. We pulled out the win in the end, but there was some patch fix or something, or some fix, and I was not able to get the replay. So that was very sad. I was planning on putting out that video, but we were not able to. So now I'm being very cautious. I don't have my GA anymore. I kind of want to reset and shop, but we're also looking for this inhib, so trying to push this inhib down. I'm being very careful not to get pulled by the Darius, because I don't want to get pulled, slowed by the Darius, stunned by the Vayne, and then have my GA popped. So now we rotate to this bot side, and getting 2 inhib turrets is huge. Like, if you can pull off 2 inhib turrets, you're in such a good spot for the game, just because you apply so much pressure. And especially this inhib turret would be huge, because notice where this inhib turret is. It's on the opposite side of Dragon. Dragon's on the top side of the map, so getting this inhib turret, it would apply so much pressure, and this wave would always be pushing in. So if somebody has to go and clear this wave when Dragon is up, then we could force a 5v4 at Drag, and that'd be good for us. And same goes for getting that top inhib and Baron, because if they have to clear that top lane, then that's going to leave them at a 5v4 at Baron. Let's see what's going on over here. Ooh, that Javen barely got out. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see, like, I don't get the point of this chase, because they're just going to retreat to the Nexus, and it's pointless. Instead, what our team should be doing is we should be wiping their jungle entirely, because, or pushing this top lane, one of the two options. I think I go over to this top lane. I see this is a huge wave here. So I'm pinging my teammates, like, let's go for this top turret. This Galliard's trying to get the engage. I was not able to clone out of it. We get some very big combos. And now I'm able to gargle and ult. And that's really big on Wukong in the late game, especially once people ramp up on damage, and you're going to be taking a lot of burst damage when you go in. Going in, using your third ability, of course, to gap close, landing your ultimate on the valuable targets such as Seraphine, Vayne, that you need to. And then using your clone right away, because remember, right when you dash in... Ooh, and that was a very good clone by me. Saw that coming. Dashing in with your third ability, using your ultimate, and then right when you do that, after you finish with the knockup, that's when the burst of damage is going to come. That's when they're going to use all their abilities. So you're going to want to clone right then, because you're going to want them to use that burst on the clone instead of you. So you can clone, and right when that clone runs out, right when you stop going invis, then you can gargle, because that'll help you sustain, and then you could use the second part of your ultimate. That'll do wonders. So that was it for this match. We kind of popped off this match. We did a lot of damage. Yeah, me and the Lucian both did a lot. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you have not, and I'll see y'all in the next video.